high school teacher, world history, and then I was at Hampton Yacht Club, Ware River Yacht Club, running their junior programs, and I started. I guess when I was 18, I took over the junior program at Keuka Lake Yacht Club in Central New York, and then from 18 till now, I've been coaching or running a program.
Nice,
Yep.
very nice. When did you transfer into South Carolina Yacht Club, and what was the program like when you joined?
So U.S. Sailing luckily had this where you could put your resume up online, and I put my resume up online on U.S. Sailing, and a man named Lee Lucier found it from the South Carolina Yacht Club. He was a GM here. He found my name, called me, and told me to come interview as I was getting ready for my 6th year of teaching, and came down with a 8-month-old in the car, and then now I'm here.
Nice. What was the status of the sailing program when you took over?
So I think the junior program had about 40 kids in it.
Okay.
There's about 4 full-time racing kids, Matthew Montz, Bradley Anderson, William T-Brake, and another kid who's no longer with us, who had their own boats. We'll call them racers. Okay. Those kids are still mostly with us. They're in the lasers now, in Club 420s. And then, of course, we had the adult sailing. The Yacht Club owned 3 Harbor 20s at that time.
Right.
Now, the Yacht Club, of course, owns 5, and they bought 3 brand new boats, I guess 3 years ago now, 2015, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I guess, 2015, 16 probably.
Yeah.
And now we kind of collect them as we see them for sale.
Right.
So that's how our program has grown. And our junior program now has 250 kids that go through it in the summer. Our Opti race team now has, I'd say, 12 to 15 full-time kids on the Opti team. OD team has 6, and the laser team now, we have 9 boats in the parking lot. So we'll say there's at least 7 kids on that team full-time. And we have 4 kids on the Club 420 team, which is just kind of emerging. And then, of course, to add to my life this year, we added high school sailing. So now we have 3 full-time high school teams from the island, all private schools here in Hilton Head.
Right. So to take it from such a small program and bring it up as strong as it is right now, I mean, what were the tactics involved there? I mean, that's a huge jump in such a short period of time.
So luckily for me, it was untapped resources here on the island. We are on Hilton Head. The owner, the South Carolina Yacht Club is owned by one individual. He's a great guy. He gives when we need it. We ask the membership. We started a 501c3 to help maintain our boats, help get new boats. We do fundraising to get the boats that we had in racing quality. We also teamed up with Bob Adam at Zim, and that was a huge latch for us. And we also invited US ODA here for our team race midwinters. And doing that, as well as getting some local sailmakers here to help us achieve what we need. We've just grown and grown and grown. And the fact that we offer one design racing, perf racing, dinghy sailing, opti sailing, it can't not come here and find something that you love.
Yeah. And it's such a beautiful place, and it's a great area to sail in as well. So,
yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's next for you, for the group down there? You guys hosted the East West this year in the Harbor 20s, and you know the kids are off sailing almost every weekend. Not right now, but they will be soon.
Right.
What else can you bring to the program that makes it that much better?
So we're working on the possibility of a Melges 24. We were locking that in for Worlds. And then, of course, we kind of put the brakes on everything right now.
Yep.
We don't want to extend ourselves too far with everything that's going on. We're also looking at a J100 that's also here already on the island that we're looking at taking to borrow, maybe not maybe take possession of it, but use it for perf racing and offshore. We have races from Charleston to Savannah, and we have the hook race that starts at the south end of Hilton Head and goes all the way up to Charleston or Savannah Yacht Club. It's 45 miles. Our kids did it in a J24 last year and got second behind, of course, I guess Patrick Chisholm, the J105
The
Ruckus. Yep. So that was fun. Stuff like that. I mean, that is our next goal. But small things, just maintaining boats. I mean, that's the hardest thing for programs is once you get these boats, the never-ending cost to maintain them. So our 501c3 Paul Miller program and our 501c3 scholarship program, which is the Bob Pankos Fund, helps supply us with kids all summer. They pay for it, and then Bob Pankos Fund donates at least 30 to 40 week-long sessions for Learn to Sail kids, and then the Paul Miller Fund donates to maintain power boats and the J70 that we own and the J22 and the J24.
Wow.
Hopefully I'll just soon.
There's just a lot going on. So I know your maintenance schedule is pretty intense because we see you every couple of weeks. You bring us sails and pick up sails and you're buying rigging, and I think it's great that you're utilizing all the sail makers and riggers in the area to kind of stay involved, and pretty excited to hear that you're going to try and get the kids into a little bigger perf boat and get them offshore sailing. And obviously we want to help out with that as much as we can. And there's a great group of sailors in the Southeast that I'm sure would be happy to jump in and help coach those kids along too and get them sailing. So it's pretty exciting to hear.
It'd be great to pick up some offshore guys to come down and get our kids going the right way.
Yeah.
They've tackled the small boats, the 70 locally. I won't say we're top nationwide, but local stuff. The kids love to go out there and blasting around with we'll call them the generational guys that have been doing it for a long time. The kids are enjoying it. I think for us, we in Hilton Head, we don't have second generation or third generation sailors. Everybody who comes here, comes here in their later years, so they're not bringing their kids, or they might bring their grandkids in the summer. But for us, getting that first generation group of sailors is what we're working on right now, and hopefully it will continue to grow. So I'm not going to see the positive side of that, but whoever's here after me will have hopefully a set of sailors that will continue local sailors.
Right.
So I think that's the hardest thing. And then we love when you come down and race against the kids in the Harbor 20s. When you come down with the big fast boats and race around out there in Port Royal. And then the other group is the new, the maintenance facility over there at Port Royal Sound. The Rambler 88s there now, and the Volvo 70s. And I guess they're going to bring in the 40s are coming sometime soon to have all their bottoms done and keel replacement, supposedly.
Yep, that's what I hear.
So we are working with Mr. Suber, who runs that program over there, and he owns the property. So we're going to try to see if we can get some day cruises for the kids on deliveries. So that's what we're working on next. Wouldn't it be anything right now, but hopefully down the line, at least if they get to blast around out there in Port Royal, or go from here to Charleston, because that's usually where they're going next, or to Savannah to get on a ship to sail out.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that'll be a great experience for those kids for sure. I remember we put Jordan on boats like that, and next day he's ready to go sail around the world, right? So
yeah, we'll keep him local right now.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah.
So the fleet is growing. So I know the schedule is still a little wonky right now, but what events do you see still happening for 2020 besides your Wednesday night? By the way, these guys race year round every Wednesday night in Harbor 20s. It's pretty amazing. And I don't think there's another club in the country that does as much Wednesday night sailing as South Carolina Yacht Club. So what else you got planned for 2020?
So depending on U.S. sailing and everything, we are hosting the Junior Olympics. It will be the last or only or first event before Laser Nationals, which are the second week, I think the 10th through the 14th at ODU. in Virginia, and our event is the weekend before that, the 6th and 7th. So we might be a large laser practice tune-up regatta before we're the only one on the schedule as of right now. And U.S. Sailing is canceled through June, we think, part of May. So we'll say that ours will be the first event if it happens, and it'll be the Junior Olympics. So we're hoping that we get a lot of lasers from Florida making the trip north, and they stop and sail with us. So that's going to be our big event, and then we won't have another event here until probably October, which will be the Ocean Challenge, which will be perp and one design.
Right. We'll definitely be back down for that. So. Well, great. So what can the general public do to help support your program besides logging into this link here and sending you a note?
So for me, if anybody wants to spend some time sailing in Hilton Head, if you've never done it, it's a different world. It's all of Charleston's current plus some marsh sailing somewhere involved in there. And if you've ever sailed the Southern Circuit on a Lightning in Savannah, you go as shallow as when the board hits, then you tack over. So it's kind of all that thrown together. But we also have Calabogie Sound and Port Royal Sound, which are huge. And they're always the sea breeze from the ocean, 2 o'clock every summer afternoon. And we go rip around out there with the kids. So if you ever want to come to Hilton Head and sail, we'd love to take you on one of our Harbor 20s. It's a unique experience. The club boats here are maintained at the same level as the private boats. So our club boats, I know when you and Ashley came down, you guys won second place. Did you win the regatta?
Second place.
Second place, and you only lost to another private boat, which used to be a club boat that Eric Norman purchased. So I mean, it's great, and now that our fleet uses the same sails, minus one boat who has to have the best sails. We
define the best sails.
Well, sir, our sails are keeping up with him and passing him, and his face gets so happy when we do that. But other than that, I mean, come sail in Hilton Head. I mean, it's a lot of fun. We sail almost more than Charleston, and they have 5 yacht clubs there. We have every program that they have, and we do it weekly. We don't need to schedule out. So, and hopefully our relationship with Savannah Yacht Club, who has a kind of a verging perf program, and the guys at Buford who now have a one design cat boat program now. So hopefully we can get all of them together. And we always used to have a huge regatta in May that you came for last year, and all the Charleston boats came down for, and the Savannah boats came up for. I think we had 38 boats, including a Swan 42, and all those rock stars from Charleston came down, and the local boats here did their best. DOA, I believe, won the regatta, but it was well fought out, and the kids went and ripped around in the J24 and the J70, and I think the J22 was out there. So I mean, we're interested in having people come sail with us.
Awesome.
If you got time, come do it.
Absolutely. I for one, we joined the club because we have so much fun down there. So Ashley and I are members down at the club, and we look forward to getting down there as soon as the bar opens back up.
Yeah, not serving right now.
No, curbside. All you get is
curbside pickup.
So, is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap this thing up?
No. Come sail in Hilton Head. Bring your juniors. Any clubs in the SARA system, South Atlantic Yacht Racing Association. Get out there on the water. I know it costs money to get kids on the water, but we can't do it by ourselves down here, and we as a district are in need of better sailors. I mean, got to get out of the water to make them better. And we try our best. We feel like we are the big fish, small pond. And we get a little nervous when we go to national events for USODA or nationals for lasers. We end up in the middle of the fleet just because we don't have that huge competition every week. And I'd like to challenge the other SARA guys or the Northeast to come down and play with us. We want to, or even Annapolis. It'd be great to see you guys come down here and play with us. Bobby Lippincott, I'm calling you out on the Opties, and we'd appreciate it.
Have you thought about inviting Northern college teams to come down and train during their spring break? I know St. Pete does that, and there's a couple other Southern clubs that do host Northern schools.
So we've done that with high school teams, just because we only have 6 high school boats right now, and the college teams usually bring about 10 boat loads.
Yeah,
that's why they usually go to down to Jacksonville and College of Charleston.
Yeah, and
then they get to train against other college teams. We'd love to do that. We're not ready for that at this point. We need to get a couple more boats, but possibly that'd be a good thing. We also, we have our Opti event, Optimus Pram Team Invitational, which we invite American Yacht Club, Annapolis Yacht Club. We bring all the rock stars from the North American continent. We bring Royal Canadian down here. They come and sail against us, and that's our big push by Zim. They bring us brand new boats to sail in that event, and it's 3-on-3 team racing. It's one of the best events we could hope for, and it brings people who have never been to Hilton Head to the island.
Right. Well, that's awesome. Well, Mark, I appreciate your time, and like I said, I'll see you next Wednesday. We're going to try and sneak out of here. Don't tell my boss. I'm going to sneak out a little early and drive down to Hilton Head so we can go sailing. Yeah. And I might be delivering some sails when I come. So
please, Bluefish needs another set. That are flying out. But if you could send me an email and request a boat, I know Flash is still available for next week.
Okay, we'll do that.
All right, have a good afternoon.
Yeah, real quick before we completely close this thing up, as Sailing Inc., I just want to kind of reach out to everybody and say that, I said this yesterday, we're thinking about all of you as customers and fans of Sailing Inc. and sailing, and we can't wait to see you guys back on the water. Hang in there, stay safe. But thanks again, Mark. We'll have a good one. Bye.
See you later.